Hello everyone. Thank you for coming back to visit again. My name is Candy, the 614 Stitcher, and this is my video number 3, actually 4, but I'll explain in a moment. For those of you that have subscribed, thank you so very much and welcome back. I hope you enjoy what I have to show this week. And if you are a new subscriber or new to my channel, I hope you like what you see and like, subscribe, and come back again next week for more cross-stitching projects that I've been doing. I actually have recorded another video, and that video is stuck somewhere in cyberspace. I had quite a few difficulties with my tablet, which I record on, and I cannot pull that recording off. So I have decided to try to pull back all of the things that I had talked about in that video and talk about them in this video and go forward from here. I hope you all had a very good holiday season and that your 2021, though it may not look very much different, that you're enjoying the start of a new year and a new era. I have notes this time because in going through and looking back over my videos, I seem to be all over the place in my opinion. And so I thought I would track down and write down notes to keep me organized and moving along better. So if I look down a little bit, that's why I am doing that. I first want to thank 3 wonderful women that shouted me out during December, right before Christmas. Beth Twist has become a fast friend, and I appreciate her and all of the wonderful things that she said about me. She is a wonderful person, very remarkable, and we have built a very fast friendship, and I am appreciative of that. The second person that shouted me out almost like the next day after I saw Beth's video was Christine Stitch All the Things, and she and I also have become very fast friends. We have a lot in common, and she's very funny, and I really appreciate all of the kind words that she also offered. We're actually going to be working on, not together, but we'll be working on, she is also a quilter, as am I, and she will be working on a quilt that we're both going to be doing, and it's going to be fun to be able to see and collaborate with her a little bit on that project. And the third lady is Colleen Rebel Stitcher. She is part of my Keepsakes, not so local needle workshop. And she too is also a very good friend, and I appreciate all of the kind words that she also gave. So thank you so very much. I'm sure quite a few of you have probably heard their shout outs and have come to join to see what kind of projects I also do. So thank you so very much. Well, I had a finish. I actually had 2 finishes in three finishes. And the first finish that I had was my ink circles. And I stitched this ink circles chart, which is called Stained Glass Christmas. And it is the Christmas cactus. And so here it is. And I'll get up really close. I absolutely love this chart, and I am quickly growing to really love all of the ink circles charts. I've already started another one, which you'll see coming up. Um, this actually is going to be a gift, so I am going to get it pinned and put in a frame. I know how to do that myself. And so I will be getting it to its new owner very quickly. The third finish I can't show you, it's already put away, but you'll see it later on in the year when I decide to do the finishing on it. It was the gingerbread men for my grandchildren's Christmas gifts, their Christmas ornaments. And so when I do those finishings, I'll make sure to let you all see them. The third finish that I had so far for 2021, Ink Circles Stained Glass Christmas was my first. And this is my third one. So I purchased this chart back in 2019, and my finish is called Holiday Snowman. This chart was a 1996 chart from Heart and Hand, and it was really cute. It was by happenstance that I found it. And here is my finish of Holiday Snowman. As you can see, I changed I changed his hat and his bow tie. And I also changed the pom-pom that's on his hat. I used DMC 29 for the purple of the hat. And then I used DMC Etoile for the hat brim. And I really enjoyed this. This is actually my oldest whip, because I had started it in July 2019 as a part of Jolly July. Because I was a new stitcher, I really bit off a lot, more than what I could chew. And so a lot of the whips that you'll see maybe this year coming up will be some of those that I started and didn't get a chance to finish. But it's a really cute stitch. This snowman actually got me started on a whole snowman stitching kick. So those will be coming up soon. I'll show you that. So we're going to go on over to whips now. I am participating in the magazine monthly cross stitch challenge group. And this month, Carolyn and Robin decided that we needed to kick our stitching, I guess, up into high gear. So they created an event called BRRRINGO. And it started January the 1st. And the last number will be called on Monday, January the 25th. And so I have been participating in that group. So what my whips are will be a mix of my BRRRINGO starts or whips. And then I also am participating in WhipGo. And I have 3 projects for WhipGo this month, but I'll explain that as we go along. So these are in no particular order. Actually, this is actually a new start. So, but it started the whole snowman theme. It's in this project bag. I love snowflakes, butterflies, and turtles. And so I was fooling around to see about making myself a project bag, and so that's where that came from. So The very first new start that I had, it's called Snowman, and this is a stitch card. Lori Holt, be in my bonnet. She has come out with stitch cards, and they're relatively quick, easy stitches you can do in a few hours or afternoon. And so this is where I am so far. And I'm sorry about the, okay, there, that's good. So I have his earmuffs in and his the band, and I have started stitching part of his face. I am also going to be changing the color. As you can see, I've already put in purple earmuffs. They're all going to have purple on them someplace. I'm actually going to change his scarf also to match his earmuffs. And so that is Snowman, stitch card C. And I'm gonna just keep these all in the bag. I'm zipping my floss up in my bag so that I can keep them all organized. The next project I'm going to show you, and I have left it in the Q snap because I'll still be working on it, is Positivity Rules, which was a sale last year in 2020 by Caterpillar Cross Stitch. This is also on my BRRRINGO board. It was called for a whip that needed to be frogged, and my largest whip. And this is where, so I put in all of this roof line here, and I did some work on the cloud here. This is also on my WhipGo board. It has not been called yet, but I want to get this finished, and so I'm going to be doing double duty on it to move it along much quicker. They finished this sale, I believe it was in September, October, and I got to a point and then I just put it down, and now I'm pulling it back out so that I can get it finished and finish it. I already know how I want to finish that project, so I just need to get it done. It'd be great if I could get that done by June. So my next whip is, it's called For Thee. And I have really always liked the way that Quaker sampler, Quaker motifs look. And so I pulled out of this chart. It is in the Just Cross Stitch February 2016 issue. And this is what that motif looks like. And I'm only stitching, it's a whole bag that was made, the stitching was made into a bag, like a purse. But I just pulled out one of the motifs. It was my way of starting another project for Valentine's Day back when we were choosing all of this. And here is my start. For these challenges for BRRRINGO, I've worked on this twice now. You have to put in either 100 stitches or 1 hour every time the prompt is called. And a lot of these, most of the projects that I will be showing you, most of the whips or new starts, I had them on my board twice. And so there'll be 2 hours worth of work or 200 stitches. There are a few of them that I was like, really like, okay, I really like this one. I'm going to keep stitching on it. My next whip was called for BRRRINGO, and it was my smallest whip. And when I started this, the name of the chart is called Quilty Love, and it is by Lori Holt. and I got it at Fat Quarter Shop back in 2019. And when I picked this whip up, I only had this purple part here. All of the motifs on this chart are quilt blocks. And so I only had the very center purple part of this done. So I have, and the other threads that I used, I changed all of the colors, and these are what I changed to. They're all different shades of purple. Well, because the goal or the parameters around BRRRINGO is stitch 100 stitches or 1 hour, I stitched this and I did not have enough time. So I started a second one. And I'm using the same color palette. Well, then once I got to looking at it, I was like, well, I'm not going to just do 2 of them. So what I've done is I've actually I'm planning on doing another 2 quilt squares down here. And this is actually going to turn into a gift for someone very special to me that's helped me out last year a lot and is continuing to be a very dear friend to me. And she loves quilting also. So this will be a great gift, and her favorite color is purple. So it'll be a good gift. So I'll, even after BRRRINGO is completed for this month, I'm going to continue stitching on this so that I can get a finish with the 4 different quilt blocks so that I can give that to her. I haven't really set a finishing goal date yet though, but that is my plan. This next whip is the BRRRINGO goal was for it had to be words, and so I apologize, I do not have a chart for this because I purchased it off of Etsy, but it is Lindy Stitches, Alas and My Soul. I'm sorry, Alas and My Savior Did Bleed. I actually started this on Easter 2020. And when I picked it up this time, I had all of this vine, but I had to go back in and put all of the little leaves on there. And this is actually also on my Whipco board because it's going to be a large piece because of the fabric size that I chose. So it's also on my Whipco board. I am using the called for DMC off the chart, and 14 count lamb's wool Ada is what I'm using to stitch that on. Sorry, I lost my whole train of thought. And I kind of have an idea of how I'm going to finish this also. So I'm not sure that I want to, your whole mindset changes after a year. And so what I have written down as a finish for it may not be the case. It might actually just, I'm not big on framing pieces and having them hang on the wall. That piece though, however, could possibly be framed. I'm trying to think what the next piece was called for, but it's not coming to me. My next whip is Snowy by Hands On Design and Priscilla Blain. I was in the 2019 Fat Quarter Shop Club for the whole chalk full series, and I have them all. And I am stitching the small right here. And when I picked this up this time, I put in all the Smyrnas around this snowman. And I also put in all of these snowflakes down at the bottom. This will probably go away for a while now. I'm moving into more spring like stitches. However, I'm going to choose a month to pull all of my snowmen and wintry things back out again, separate from Jolly July, so that I can get some work on them also. This is actually really fun, and I really enjoyed learning how to do Smyrnas. They're a nice specialty stitch. They're pretty easy. Um, uh, when Kimberly Jolly started her Flosstube early on, she had one of her employees sit down and go through specialty stitching. And I pulled that video up. I had to because it had been over a year, 2 years, like almost, well, over a year. And so I referred back to that, and it was just like I picked it right back up again, and it was really good. Those stitches are really good stitches. So my next new start is called Seasonal Sunshine, and it is by Ink Circles. This is actually on my Whipco board. I put it into BRRRINGO for a new start because we had to have a new start that was not included in the theme that the charts that we chose for the theme. This actually happened to be, which when I watched Jessie Marie's video, she was like, "Oh, it's never called. It won't be called." But I didn't make a mistake. I guess I just didn't focus really well when she was making it. But I put this in as chart number 13 or square number 13, which most people put it in as a free square. Not me. I put it in as a new start for 4 hours. And so this is where I am. The chart will it actually goes this way. It'll be a rather large piece. I love it. I studied landscaping in school for a little while, and so the seasons are just wonderful, and I love them. So far, I have an hour on this. So for Whipco, the goal is 3 hours. So I still have, no, I'm sorry. The Whipco goal for this is 4 hours. So I still need to do another 3. My Whipco goals, though, are for the year. I did not make monthly goals. So I'll have all the way through this year to, which that's not going to happen. I'm not going to wait all year to do 3 more hours on it, but those are what my goals are. That's what the goal is on my Whipco board was for that. The next new start, we had to stitch on a flower, and I chose, and I can't show you this one either, but if you go through the hashtag Be Well and Stitch, this is where that came from. It is the Be Well Mini Bouquet by Jeanette Douglas. And I'm sure all of you know about all of those charts that were put out when the pandemic first hit really hard, and all the designers were putting out free charts so that people could stay home and stitch. And so this is totally a new start. I have put in all of the leaves. I'm working on this big center flower here, and then there's 2 more flowers that come off the sides. And then there are 2 flowers that come down at the bottom. For this project, I am going to go ahead and put in the border. I don't know that I'm going to put in the words "Be Well" at the bottom, just because if I had to stitch this last year, you know, I would have put it in. Maybe when I get it finished, I will put "Be Well" on the back, or commemorate what this chart was actually for. And I am converting all of the colors on this chart. I did not convert the colors myself. My wonderful friend Susan Coates, she actually provided me with the conversion. And this chart actually called for like Classic Colorworks, Gentle Arts, Weeks, and we went with all DMCs. And if you'd like to know what the conversion is after I get it finished, you can let me know and I can provide that for you. I do a lot of purple. I'm big on purple. This next new start is for the theme of the monthly magazine Cross Stitch Challenge group. And this year's theme was New Year. And as it turned out, I found a chart in the, I wrote it down, in the Just Cross Stitch 2011 magazine. I have the digital CD that has the years 2011 through 2015. So I was going through that and I found this chart. And so far, it's this is what I have so far for that. So this is the border, and there'll be another border just like that down here on the side. And this is a clock face, and then it has back stitching of a martini glass that intersects through the clock, and some other small motifs. This was made by Fresh Thread Studios back in 2011. I am using all the called for DMC. However, the fabric is color and cotton. Color and cotton. I know what that is. Oh, cotton candy. Duh. It is wonderful. The color and cotton. Initially, I thought it would be too soft, but it is a really, really nice. It has a nice feel to it, and it's not too. I do use a Q snap right now, so it works fine in the Q snap. I really love stitching in hand, but my hands and wrists don't love it, so I'm going to have to stop stitching in hand for a while. So, but this is my magazine monthly challenge piece, and I will most likely not get it finished this month, but it'll be one of my pieces that I can pick up and hopefully get roll into other challenges that we'll have through the year. I would like to get it done this year though. So my next new start is not linked to BRRRINGO or WithGo. However, as I'm sure you all know, January the 15th is Martin Luther King's birthday, Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday. And so earlier this year, Stonestreet Stitchworks put out an MLK sampler, and you just needed to make a donation to an organization, a charitable organization. And so I did that. And so I was able to get the chart, and here's what it will look like. It's really pretty. And I worked on this on Friday and got part of the borders in. This border, I have a little bit more to go on the top border, and then there are two different borders. So the side borders are the same, and the top and the bottom border are the same, and I started on the words. It's a very nice stitch also. I'm stitching this on, sorry, I thought I have my book. I don't know why I'm not using it. So let me go back really quickly. The Be Well and Mini Bouquet, I'm stitching on Witch Elk 14 count Graceful Gray. And this, the MLK sampler, I am stitching on Natural Brown with Witch Elk Natural Brown Ada 14 count. And it only has 4 colors, so it'll go along pretty fast. I have set a goal for this one. He was assassinated in April, and so my goal is to have this completed by the time his assassination was. So that's where I'll be. That'll be what I'll be working on. This will not go back to be worked on later. I'm going to continue working on it throughout, of course, February for Black History Month, and I want it done by the time of his assassination in 1960. It was April the 14th, I believe, in 1968. So I want to get it done by April the 14th. Sorry. Okay. My next new start was for WIPGO, and it was on my BRRRINGO board. And for some reason, I'm not like, oh, here it is. It's funny, you think you can remember all of this when you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna, and then you're like, oh no, I don't remember. So it was this is number 6 on my WIPGO board, and I did use it as a prompt in the BRRRINGO, but I don't remember now. Oh, here it is. It was a whip or a new start with an animal. So like I said earlier, love sea turtles. A few years ago, I was at a beach and helped locate a sea turtle nest that she had come up on sand and laid her nest. Anyway, I am stitching, and it's called the turtle. It's called the turtle, and so far I have to make sure it's oriented right. This is my start on it. This is the flipper, and down here, this right here is the tail. So it'll keep going down, and the other flipper actually ends right down here. So it goes down here, and then it'll be, the size of the one thing about this, I really like the chart. It's very, I don't know if you can tell, like all of the colors are very geographic, if that's the right word I'm using. The one thing is as you look at the chart, the colors of the DMC are not as bold as what is printed. It is in color. The chart is all in color, and it's beautiful, but the colors on the chart are way more vibrant than the colors that were chosen to stitch with. So if I were to ever stitch this again, I would try to match the DMC colors to what the picture actually is. Just a few more. This next project was a new start also, and it is out of the Just Cross Stitch magazine 2020 for February. Their whole flower series was just lovely. I loved it. But I didn't, at the time, I did not purchase magazines. I didn't have magazines. I basically stitched from charts. So in getting in the, well, I had that magazine before this, but once, I would watch a flip through, and then I would, if there were a lot of charts in there that I'd like, then I would go ahead on and purchase the magazine. And so what I did was, is I just decided that I would, it's not in here, I would wait and just do them all this year. I haven't gotten the 2021 new Just Cross Stitch yet, so I don't know what monthly they're going to go through. But this is the flower of the month, and this is January. And so far I have just the urn and the stems and for the flowers. So I'll have to go back in and put that in there. I am also going to leave these out. These will be, if I need to go to an appointment, or, if I'm bored, whatever the case may be, it'll be easy to fill in. So I am stitching this on, it's called Hedgehog. It is by Fortnite Fabrics. I am in their Fabric of the Month Club. And I get the neutrals, which when they started the club, it was mushrooms, and the colors were flowers. And so I'm still in that club. And so this is what the hedgehog looks like. It has really nice modeling. I am saving this piece in hopes that I can get at least 4 more of the monthly flowers on, so they will all have the same color fabric with them. And I really enjoyed that. It was a quick stitch. That was the hour. I literally did that in an hour because I saw that it required, and so I can go back through and pick it back up. My next chart is Square Dance, and this is a whip. And I should have used this one as a whip to take a whip that needed frogging because it was crazy. I actually had started stitching this a while ago. And when I came back, of course, to pick it up, this is by Heart and Hand. And I am, they have they have 3 months in one chart. And so I'm doing August. I'll actually be doing them all, but I had started with August, and so I was going to finish August. When I came back to work on this, I already had these 2 B-skips in. So I just needed to bring this one down and finish. And when I brought this one down, these 2 were way up too high or too low, or yeah, they were, whatever the case may be, they were wrong, and I had to take them both out and put them back in. So this should have been a whip that needed to be frogged, because I would have just been done with it, and I could have put the stitches back in that I had taken out. So these, all 3 of these square dances will be finished by Miss Barbara at Keepsakes. I already know that going in. So I'm going to be working on these also because I need to get them finished for her and get them back. So they'll be staying out, and I'll be working on them. The one thing that I have really enjoyed about BRRRINGO is that in the morning, I don't really have to think about, I stitch in the morning before I work. since we will be working from home indefinitely. That's just something that I do to get myself prepared and ready for the day. And so Bringo, because it's an hour, or, you know, I have the opportunity to stitch for 30 minutes, an hour before I have to get my whole day started. And it's really been nice to put that time in and know that I've already got that day's stitching for Bringo completed already. This next project I had also started last year. Jordan, little Stitch girl. Last year was her first year at market. And so she put out a free chart, and I can't show it to you. It is on her, and I need to put her name down. It is on her website, and it's littlestitchgirl.com. I'll put that information in the show notes also. So she came out with a freebie chart for spring, and it's just called Spring Freebie. And I started stitching it because it's really pretty. The colors are really pretty. And I just chose my own fabric. This is actually the color is being really blown out, but it is a very, very light green, and all of the threads are DMC. And so I put in the eye. And so I need to get this finished because I want it done before spring actually springs here. Oh, don't pull that. There's something. Okay. So nice springy colors. There are little butterfly motifs throughout. And the border is very nice. It's easy to stitch, so it was really nice to put the hour in. And I got the eye and part of a butterfly done. So that was Spring Freebie by Little Stitch Girl. And I believe this fabric came from the remnant basket at Keepsakes, but it feels like color and cotton because it's soft and it's really nice to stitch on. Okay, I have a few other Bringo projects that I have not worked on yet. And a few that have not been called, so I'll just share those. Ooh, I got a big stack over here. I'll share those next week because everything will be called by the 25th. So, my next segment I'm going to go into the plans. That way, if you're not all into the haul, you won't have to watch all the haul. So, like I just said, the Bringo numbers are called through Monday, the 25th, and then we have until the 31st, which is the next Sunday, to submit all of our pictures. We have to have a before picture and an after picture. And so I have been making sure that the ones that I still need to put pictures in on have gotten taken care of. So, and I'll need to get caught up because there are a couple that I really didn't want to do, but they had to be on the board because of the prompt. They fit the prompt perfectly, but I'll have to work on those this week. Also, starting on the 25th, which is Monday, if you recall, Lynn X Stitch had sent me this Advent bag. And as it turned out, it was wonderful. All of the floss that was in the bag was for the upcoming Caterpillar cross stitch made to create sal that we're doing together. And so I'll be prepping the threads, and I have my fabric picked out. So I'll be able to show you that next week. I'm going to be stitching it on 14 count natural brown witch-elt Ada. So I'll be able to show you that next week. And I have actually quite a few plans for February already. I will be participating in the Valentine's Starts with Fat Quarter Shop, and stitching a lot of the, not a lot, but stitching quite a few of the Stitching with the Housewives charts that they've put out for Valentine's Day. They're really cute, and I will put their Etsy shop below. You can also get those charts at fatquartershop.com. And then Miss Dina, Half Stitch Cross Stitch, and her friend Donna will be also having a sal. It's called February Festivals. The first 2 weeks of February, they will be stitching Valentine's Day ornaments. And then the next 2 weeks, the last 2 weeks, they will be stitching Easter ornaments. So I thought that would be really fun. I don't have a lot of either one of those cross stitched, so I thought it would be really nice to participate in that with them. And I'm going to firm up my plans for the February monthly magazine cross stitch group. We just got an announcement that